Oh, Duke. I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed. In this video, we're talking about Duke and his storyline in the Sea of Thieves and going back through from when he was first introduced to what he's been up to since then. Duke was one of my favorite characters in the Sea of Thieves. When I would play, you'd get in the game, you'd see him there, and he'd just be hanging out chilling, usually drunk off his ass. It was really funny always to see. I always liked Duke, but then now he's kind of turned into a little jerk face. So we gotta figure out what happened to him. So Duke was first introduced to us during the Hungry and Deep campaign, so this was the first major content update in Sea of Thieves. So he's been around for a long time, just as long as Merrick. He was previously the Bilge Rats representative in the Sea of Thieves. Duke's main purpose was to keep players up to date on current events in the Sea of Thieves, along with having them go out and do Bilge Rat adventures and mercenary voyages. He'd give us like special limited time voyages and cosmetics and other stuff that you're typically used to now with Lorena doing these duties. Lorena, for those that don't know, is the leader of the Bilge Rats. Duke was just a representative of them. During the Smuggler's Fortune update, Duke started experimenting with stuff that he could do at the outpost, and he started accepting Reaper's chests and setting up black markets to sell more cosmetics. Later in the Seabound Soul update, he was replaced by Stitcher Jim in the taverns, who claimed that Duke had entrusted him with the black market and the Bilge Rat business to him, while a note from Duke could be found pinned to the tavern counters, explaining that he had gone off to find Lorena, leader of the Bilge Rats, for help against the increasing skeleton activity. He would remain missing through the Festival of Giving update in 2019, until Legends of the Sea update, where we find him injured and covered in bandages from an attempt to investigate Flameheart's lair in the Heart of Fire. When confronted about his time away, Duke seemed oblivious of any note or mission to find Lorena. With Duke back at his post as the Bilge Rat ambassador, healing from his wounds, his quote-unquote trustworthy assistant, Stitcher Jim, decided to run off into the Devil's Roar to chase a lead on Flameheart's return. With Flameheart presumably amassing a fleet, the Pirate Lord entrusted Duke to help him hand out special voyages to prepare pirates for the dangers that would soon sweep the Sea of Thieves in the upcoming battle. Throughout the monthly updates, Duke seemed to slowly recover in the tavern and continue his duties until Lorena, leader of the Bilge Rats, returned in September 2020 with the Vaults of the Ancient update. She kicked Duke out of the tavern and took over all of his responsibilities. While this happened, Duke himself traveled to Lagoon of Whispers to take a break alongside Umbra, where he learned to write down his thoughts. But then, without telling Umbra, he left to Mermaid's Hideaway on an investigation into some legends of a certain treasure. After a month of finding nothing, he discovered some markings at various islands. First was at Kraken's Falls, before fleeing that island from some skeletons to hide at Wanderer's Refuge. He then camped on the shores of Old Salt Alto. It was during this time that Duke was appearing not himself through these various updates where he'd appear on different islands. The last time we saw him at Old Salt Alto, this is what he said. The call, getting stronger, perhaps they found that poor crew I was too slow. We then asked him, Duke, you don't seem well. And he'd say, just a headache, swarmed too close, statue, but now I know we only stopped for the gems, but there's so much more. The clue, of course, it tumbled down. Oh, but then the trail went cold. Are you cold? I feel cold. I only cared about the treasure, and now the call, the sea, it's all going to end. It's, my head. Sorry, my friend. I think I have to go. Obviously, Duke does not seem okay in this, and it's my impression that whatever this adventure that Duke was going on corrupted his mind. Who corrupted his mind? We're not sure. My guess would be Flameheart, but the next time we see Duke is not until a Pirate's Life update with the Dark Brethren Tall Tale. We see that Duke, along with Wanda the Warsmith, Davy Jones, and the Gold Hoarder, have all joined together to form the Dark Brethren. So, quickly, I won't talk too much. We talked a bit more about it in our Masked Stranger video, talking about Wanda the Warsmith. But Basically, the Dark Brethren is a group of disgruntled pirates in the Sea of Thieves that are a separate group from Flameheart. They're both bad in their own way, but they're not working together. They actually kind of hate each other. Wanda especially hates Flameheart. We don't see anything from Duke after the Dark Brethren Tall Tale for another year, until now with the most recent adventure in Sea of Thieves, the Forsaken Hunter adventure. And we find that Duke has worked together with the Masked Ranger to orchestrate this plan to kill Merrick and kidnap him at Sailor's Grave, which Sailor's Grave is the island that we're on in the first Pirate's Life Tall Tale. This is basically an island where pirates that have died appear at, and then they usually go onto the dock to get picked up by the ferryman who brings them back to life. But in this case, Duke and the Masked Ranger have kidnapped Merrick, and they want to get some kind of information from him. We don't know what they're trying to figure out from Merrick, but whatever it is, it does not seem good. And Duke does not look like himself at all. He looks like he's gone fully evil. It's a very like Anakin Skywalker to Darth Vader transition in my mind. He used to be like this pretty nice, friendly guy, bit of a drunk, but in general, pretty chill dude, to now this murderous, villainous guy that I don't even recognize anymore. Gotta say, I'm a bit sad to see, but maybe one day we'll be able to save Duke too. But that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed, it'd be great if you left a like and subscribe. And if you haven't already seen, we did a video talking about the history of the Masked Ranger, also known as Wanda, also known as Captain Warsmith. She's got a lot of names. She's very special like that, I guess. But if you enjoyed this video, you probably enjoyed that one as well. That's all I have for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.